Alright, this is third grade, chapter 4 in GoMath, and this is the last video for the chapter review, starting with question number 22. Lewis started a table showing a multiplication pattern. Part A. Complete the table, describe a pattern you see in the products. So we had a lesson about patterns in the multiplication table, so this is a problem that is going back to that lesson. So we have 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is 15, 3 times 6 is 18, 3 times 7 is 21, 3 times 8 is 24, 3 times 9 is 27, and 3 times 10 is 30. So it asks us to describe a pattern you see. So there's going to be different answers for this, and answers will vary some, but let's look for some general patterns. First of all, we see that we're counting by 3s. We're going up by 3 here. We're going up by 1s there. So it's just we're listing the multiples of 3. Counting by 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. But I also know that one of the patterns that we talked about earlier was that when I multiply an odd number by an odd number, I get an odd answer. When I multiply an odd number by an even number, I get an even answer. So let's see if that pattern holds true. Odd times odd is odd. Odd times even is even. Odd times odd is odd. Odd times even is even. Odd times odd is odd. So we can see that the pattern is when we're counting by 3s, we have an odd and then an even, odd, even. So we have a pattern, describe a pattern you see. The products are in an odd, then even pattern. So I see that pattern, and so I see that the product of 2 odd numbers is odd. So the product of I'm going to say 2 odd factors and use that vocabulary word, is odd. And the product of an odd number and an even number, and we know that those are called factors. I'm just going to use numbers this time. I think that's okay. Number is even. So when we multiply an odd number by an even number, we get an even product, and we multiply an odd number times an odd number, we get an odd product. So part B, if you multiplied 3 times 37, would the product be even, an even number, an odd number? Use the table to explain your reasoning. So we're going to use evidence just like you would in language arts, text evidence. So we're going to use the evidence we have up here to answer this question. So if you're not sure what 3 times 37 is, that's okay, because you don't have to do that. It says, would it be even or odd? The product would be odd because both factors are odd. So the product's going to be odd because both factors are odd, just like in the table up here. And then if you really wanted to impress your teacher, you could tell the answer. The product of 3 times 37 equals. And so let's say that you do want to find the answer to that. So 3 times 37, you might know how to already go ahead and multiply 3 times 37. Or you could use the distributive property and decompose 37 into 30 plus 7. And you can say 3 times 30 plus 7. So we can say 3 times 30 plus 3 times 7. And 3 times 30, if we count by 3 groups of 30, 30, 60, 90. And plus 3 times 7, which is 21. And the answer is 111. So 111, which is odd. You don't have to have that part, but the product will be odd because both factors are odd, just like we had in the table up there. Use the number line to show the product of 4 times 8. So this is asking us 4 times 8, 4 groups of 8. So if we start at 0 and we show 1 group of 8, there's 8. 2 groups of 8 would be 16. 3 groups of 8 is 24. 4 groups of 8 is 32. So 4 times 8 is 32. And you need to show that on the number line. That 4, this is 1 group of 8, 2 groups of 8, 3 groups of 8, 4 groups of 8, which is 32. All right, that's the chapter review. I hope that you are ready for your chapter test now. Best of luck.